also a wide tooth comb. No matter whether your perms or natural, whether your hair is long or short, I still say use a big tooth comb like this. And please, if you use a pick, make sure you use only a plastic pick. If you have a pick with metal ends on it, those break your hair. So maybe save it as a souvenir or something that's really cool, but don't use metal picks in your hair. And if you buy a plastic comb like this, make sure it doesn't have any extra sharp pieces on it, because it can catch onto your hair and break your hair. So make sure, even if you get it for $1 or from a beauty supply store, make sure that it doesn't have any sharp pieces on it that will catch onto your hair. The next thing is this comb, like I've showed you guys a couple times now. This is for parting. It makes really even parts. So I parted my hair like this just by doing that, whereas if I had to part it with the front part of the comb, it would have taken a lot longer, whereas I could have just split it down. Also, I use this part to part my hair, and this part scratch my scalp. So I use it to scratch my scalp to get rid of any flaking or anything like that before I wash my hair, because as you know, when you wash your hair, you're not supposed to over manipulate your hair. So if the dirt is already at the surface, I'm kind of just softly smoothing the shampoo over to rinse it off. I'm not scrubbing it while my hair is wet, because that will break the hair. So this comb is great. And make sure you don't get the really cheap ones. I would splurge on this. This was $3.99. The brand is Eurostyle, E-U-R-O-S-T-I-L. I got it from Ricky's in New York City. But you could just Google the brand maybe if you can't get it. If you don't live in New York City, or if you don't have a Ricky's near you, then you can just Google it. So yeah, this is a really good one to have. And also, you don't want to have the really cheap combs where you run your finger across it and it like harmonizes for you and it makes songs for you. Those combs aren't good. They break your hair. Get rid of it. I would say use it for something else, but if you even keep the comb, you just may slip up and use it for your hair. So if you run your fingers down your comb, like I'm doing now, and you hear like songs and melodies and all that, just get rid of it, because it's really not good for your hair. So, and also, you don't want to get the cheap combs, because they tend to have really pointy ends, and you'll poke yourself with those. So it's just, this one is $3.99. It's not that bad. Also, this scissor I have, it's important to have a hair scissor, not a paper scissor, no other kind of scissor for your hair except for a hair scissor. And this is by Tweezerman. I paid $21.99 for it from Ricky's in New York City. Again, you could Google it. I would have gotten a better hair shear, but some of them cost $300 for a hair scissor. So I find that Tweezerman is the best hair scissor that's not professional and that's not costing $300. So I would invest in a good scissor one time. And like I said, it's $21.99 compared to the $300. And just be careful not to drop them, because once you drop them, you might need a new scissor. And yeah, so you don't want to drop these scissors. Last but not least, this is optional. And the reason this is optional is because if you don't use heat, then you won't need a heat protecting spray. So this is from VO5, and this is the one I prefer to use because it's cheap. And before I buy any of the heat protecting sprays, I open it in the store. I know it's not good, but I open it in the store. I run it across my finger like this. I rub it together until it dries, and I do this. If it's tacky, get rid of it, or just don't buy it. So if you have one that's tacky, get rid of it. If you're in the store and you do what I do, and it's sticking to your fingers or it leaves a residue, don't buy it, because if you're going to blow dry your hair, and if you blow dry your hair with something that leaves a film on your hair, basically it's not going to give you soft, bouncy hair. So I use this because it dries just like water would dry on my hand. It doesn't leave anything over, and supposedly it protects your hair from heat damage. So I feel like for $3, this is a pretty good buy compared to more high-end heat protecting sprays. So, okay, I looked all over. That's it. Those are all the products that I recommend you have. Again, it doesn't have to be those brands, but look for the effectiveness that I'm specifying from these types of products. So I hope that wasn't too fast for you all. If you have to watch it again, please do so. And I hope you all have a great